Do you want all you can get? I'm Alex Jones. I want all of you good guys to live to fight another day. Call 1-800-409-5633 or check it out on the web at efoodsdirect.com. Again, that number, 1-800-409-5633.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
We are back live, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to have wide open phones in the second hour today. It is Sunday, the 21st day of February 2010. And I want to go over all this news first. Okay, as we went to break, I was explaining that in 1996, when I first got on talk radio, I was exposing that under federal law, all cell phones were designed so the government could dial in and listen to everything you were doing, even when the phone was off. Now, you may have said, well, wait a minute, you said that was 2001. It became law in 2001. In 2006, they passed the Telecommunications Act, and in and amongst the bill, and this was even in mainstream news, it said that the government and simultaneously other governments adopted this as well, as we're under a global system. The corporations, the Fortune 100, set the rules that all cell phones were becoming tracking devices to track you down to a few feet of wherever you were. Even if the phone doesn't have GPS, the cell towers do and triangulate where you are, and where they can dial in and listen to everything you're doing and track you. Now, in 2003, I saw mainstream news articles. The first one I saw was the governor of Wisconsin in an article going, look at our new fusion center the feds paid for. Yeah, with our money. And we can live time type in somebody's name and pull up wherever they are via their cell phone. Total Big Brother. Now, notice almost all the new cell phone brands like iPhone, you can't take the battery out. And without warrants, they just dial in, do whatever they want. And, of course, the government lied about that and said, oh, we only use it once we have warrants. Then it turned out millions of roving wiretaps a month. They just do whatever they want. They don't get a warrant. They do nothing. And the government mainly uses this to track what the public really thinks. And they know you're angry at them. They don't have to read a Rasmussen poll where 75% of Americans are ready for revolution. They already know that because they're listening to you. They're criminal. They're out of control. Think how outrageously corrupt this Philadelphia public school was, that the principal and assistant principals are on record. The parents and kids found out because they would say, I saw your son smoking marijuana. I saw your son doing something he shouldn't have been doing in his bedroom. I saw your daughter. People said, how on earth do you know that? And they said, well, we have software on these computers that the feds paid for that are anti-theft. And if we want to know if a laptop's stolen, we just dial in and turn the video camera on. Wait a minute. But in these cases, in the federal lawsuit, the laptops weren't stolen. See, I remember 10 years ago, and Steve Watson wrote an article for PrisonPlanet.com today, breaking this down, giving you the big picture. That's what we do. We don't just cover one story by itself. Our articles almost entirely are big picture, where we'll go, oh, look at this article, and then look at 20 others. In Tennessee, in California, in Texas, in New York, I mean, just literally hundreds of cases where a visiting basketball team of middle school girls in one Tennessee case show up in the showers after the basketball game and see cameras in the showers and run out, freaking out, panicking. Parents are cussing and yelling in the parking lot. And the school said, well, of course, there could be theft. There could be fights in the showers. Yes, we record all the naked girls in the showers. They had sold it in some type of brainwashing operation in that particular school district. But then when other people showed up who hadn't been brainwashed and hadn't been conditioned, they rightfully freaked out. It's the same thing with the naked body scanners, where they admittedly record your naked body and store it in a biometric ID database. This is the government recording your naked body. And as we predicted, now movie stars, TV stars, and others in England have had their TSA print off their naked body scan and say, please sign this for us. See, government's setting the precedent that they're God, that they can do whatever they want. And all these records of the cable companies and others of what you watch and what you do, it all goes into your file on your psychological makeup. This has all been admitted. And so it's the same thing here. You've seen the news reports all over the country where in a whole bunch of the cases, a girl, it's always a girl, gives one of her friends a Tylenol or a Luden's cough drop. Well, in one case, it was nothing but sugar and a little bit of menthol, not even an over-the-counter drug. And they arrested her, strip searched her to see if she had other drugs, quote, drugs, and then say, we're allowed to strip search. See, they're just setting the precedent and telling you, yes, we're going to record you. We're going to videotape you. We're going to put, I mean, I've literally seen hundreds of articles about cameras in the bathroom stalls in public schools. And then I saw articles in Florida and Michigan, of all places, and I haven't looked in years, this was like 5 years ago, where they were putting cameras in the bathroom stalls at roadside stops. So you need to be aware this is happening and get angry about it and say no. Say no to all of this. But, of course, it's all done for your safety. But think about the psychology of these principals. When they go, what's the big deal? We're just turning the cameras on when your daughter or son are in their bedroom. That's freedom. 20-plus thousand homes in England and growing. It was 2,000 a year ago. Now it's 20,000. People have children, and they say, you had a learning disability or you were arrested once. Your child's in danger. And so now we're going to make you, at birth, when you leave the hospital, for a few months, have multiple cameras in your house that the government monitors to make sure you know how to feed and change and take care of your baby. Guilty until proven innocent. I saw a story 2 years ago. Houston police chief calls for cameras in homes. People won't believe it. Pull it up. Just search engine it. We're also simulcasting at prisonplanet.tv for viewers. And then we archive this for prisonplanet.tv so people can watch the show, not just the radio show, whenever you want, how you want. And so some people will say, well, why do you have a free iPhone app that's in the top 10 apps for news apps now at the iPhone store? It's a free app. Links are up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Well, people are going to have these phones regardless. People are going to be surveilled. I'm going to use the very instrument of surveillance and control. I'm going to use these to break people's conditioning. It's an inanimate tool. That'd be like if you were in a Nazi concentration camp or a Russian concentration camp and you grabbed a gun away from one of the Nazi guards and, oh, don't use a Nazi gun or a Russian gun on a Russian. No, it's an inanimate object. I will use it as a tool. Yes, we use the Big Brother system to reach out to people and to warn them about what's really going on in the Matrix. You've got to go into the Matrix to get people out of the Matrix, ladies and gentlemen. The point is, you're not in Kansas anymore. Foreign offshore corporations brag that they've set up a total surveillance grid. And what's the end game? To financially rob you of everything you've got, of everything you are. But to be able to rob you successfully, they've got to have this police state surveillance grid in place so they can get away with it. Now, when we come back, I want to get into the takeover of the entire free market internet system by cybersecurity and the White House. And this is nonpartisan. This started back under Clinton, and then Bush, and now Obama. But if you want to know just how bad it really is, we're going to go over it, and a lot more coming up today. This is Alex Jones, and I want to tell you about the Ecola Blue atmospheric water generator that produces pure drinking water right from the humidity in the air. No, this isn't science fiction. It's very real. I know because I use one every day in my own home, and it's available right now to you. Because you know exactly where your water comes from with Ecola Blue, you'll know what's in your cup. Clean, great-tasting water without all the pollutants. Get your family off the grid today by ordering your own Ecola Blue atmospheric water generator for your home or business. Their best seller, the Ecola Blue 28, produces up to 7 gallons of water every day. The Ecola Blue 28 is easy to use and economical. Generate your own